line. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Crank it up. Finger to the sky and a green light shining bright. The only thing I have in mind is the finish line. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to PTN Race TV, where we're now live here tonight at noon Iowa Speedway, where we're gonna see the drivers up at Illinois Racing League here on PTN Racing TV go at it once more here in their weekly series, the Super Late Models of Thursday night. I got our own eye and Christian the Crusader driver, and welcome back to the show as always. Let's get down to business as we're one to usually do here on the show. Let's just get to our running order here for this first race of the night. Two races coming to you from Iowa. I did not stutter. I said Iowa, not Speedway. We're going to Knoxville here in a little bit. I'll have to travel down there. It's only about an hour drive from here. I'll be out of there quickly. But here we go. On the pole, the undefeated one. Chantel Otto, the number 5, will lead him out to her outside. It'll be Joker Joe Nuttleman, the number 4. Row number 2, it's going to be Matthew Hofford, the 84, is outside. Dustin Sonaker, Sparkalicious in the 66. Row 3, it's Jeffrey Todd Tufts, the 72, is outside. Kevin Baker, the 87. Row number 4, Jerry Keeney, and the 61 is outside. Stanley Bottle, the 848. And then Robert Hissong and the number 8 rounding out your field here tonight as we look at our race info here as well. Here, Iowa right now, it's pretty clean, pretty beautiful, picturesque, but this track shape will definitely test some of the drivers to their limits and to their core. All about cornering and setting each turn up as you go along with this one tonight. We're getting ready to go to the race here. We're ready to get to the action here. The field will work their way off around. Bring the field to life. Bring the stars and the cars to the track. as mentioned before, the number 5 undefeated so far. She has yet to lose on the Super Late Model Series in the Thursday nights, which you would think is kind of hard to believe after all the struggles and stuff that has happened on the show. But tonight, she remains undefeated. Will that end here tonight? We'll just soon see. There's some tough hombres in here that would love to knock her down a few spots. One of them being Kevin Baker in the 87 after the performance we saw from him back at Thompson Speedway. As I say, that ends up going right into the wall protection. I don't know if he's trying to build character by just getting the car a little bent up a little bit, but I don't think you want to do that with these super plates, my friend. Who knows, maybe he's trying to get the tire all settled up down there, make sure it's not going to break on him too quickly, but that's beyond the point. We're getting ready to get to the action here. We'll go one lap around. Matthew Hoffer looking for a little vengeance out there. You see him already warming the tires up in that Goodwrench service number 84. He finished second last time out. And this time he said to me earlier today, he's looking to end that little streak of theirs and get himself on the wins list. Very hard to do and very tough to master, especially with this kind of a field. But we shall soon see if that will be the case. The pace car is going to come off out of turn 4 this time by. We're reeling the drivers out of turn 4 this go around as well. It's time for some Elemental Racing League Super Late Model Series action here on PTN Racing TV. And also to follow, as I mentioned just a minute ago, Spartan Logistics Management LLC bring out the IROCs to Knoxville Raceway. Yes, trucks at Knoxville. Who would have thought? We're going to see a Corn Belt 150 in a virtual setting, if you will, as the green flag flies on out. First off, it's Iowa Speedway with the Super Late Models out of the middle. Well, right out of the gate here, no surprise here, the 5 off to a hot start, but Joker Joe Nuttleman kind of the surprise hit here tonight. He had a very fast practice lap, a little faster than the 5 actually, but had a bit of a slower qualifying run. He told me earlier he's trying to change that up, make sure he does not fall victim to that long run situation, but so far, he's definitely already being put to the test a little bit as Jerry Keeney in the 61 coming off the corners, trying to fight his way around with Dustin Sordaker. Sparky. Last time out of Thompson Speedway, another surprise hit and a really good battle between him and Matthew Hofford in those last couple laps there, managing to walk away with a 3rd place finish. But it's good to see Sparky finally get something dialed in down there and really, in my opinion, have something go his way. He's got a lot of talent under that hood and he definitely knows it. On board camera here, Matthew Hofford as he works his way around the 84 machine, trying to make his way across to the 5, or excuse me, the 4 of Joker Joe Nuttleman to then get to the 5 of Chantel Bottle. Joker Joe still driving that nice little Heath Ledger style car there, but you can see that rear end is washing out badly on him. He's trying to stabilize him down. You can just see, even on a big track, that rear end does not mind spinning out from underneath you. You really got to keep these cars cornered off and keep them very stable. Kevin Baker, though, pretty surprised hit as well right now. He is currently rocking in the 4th spot. I said it once, I'll say it again. I think he can get this dialed in. And I think right now, you know, the way we've been seeing it, we've been hearing it, I think if he can get a little bit more practice out there, a little bit more time in the driver's seat, I think he may be a guy you got to really watch out for as we progress through our races. Yeah, on board here with that 61 of Jerry Keeney right now. As the BE Super Late Model, as we go up against that St. Wotton 66 machine. One up on the Wotton car up on the outside line. Looks like Slonicker's going to make a run off on the top side here, make a charge around him, and he will move it up into position ahead there of Jerry Keeney. Keeney having nowhere to go and no room to take him off on. Good stuff here from our drivers right out of the gate here, as currently, surprise, surprise, the 5 leading this one on by. I talked to her earlier today about it too, and you know, she just told me point blank, she feels like this track is just made for her on some things. She feels like you know, the way the setup is, the way the car is built on, it hasn't really changed much, and it seems like no matter what, it seems like the only thing she's got to worry about is just herself and not worry about the drivers. And I gotta admit right now, that is definitely a very true case. Matthew Hofford already ahead of Joker Joe Nuttleman. Nuttleman lost about 2 seconds on him, so a good start, but not a very good long run, at least what we're seeing right now from him. The hardest part, you know, about running this place is just, again, you got the progressive turns and the bankings down there that really hurt your chance and hurt your runs as you progress through, as we got a little bit of problem down there for Joker Joe Nuttleman. Nettleman crashed on in around there out of turn 2 there. We'll take a look at the PTMS from replay. Comes right out. Looks like Kevin Baker gets a little piece of him there. Nettleman had nowhere to go, nowhere to get out of, unfortunately, costing him precious time in a situation there. We'll take a look on the onboard camera here and just give you guys a better look at what it looked like there for Nettleman. To me, it looked like Nettleman was holding his line, trying to keep it straight, and Baker, well, he was trying to hold his line in as well, but unfortunately, the circumstances did not work out the favor he was looking for, and that ends up costing him precious time here on the show. Lining him back through the field here, Stanley Pottle there in the 48 Transformers machine. Having a little bit of a go here at Jerry Keeney. Believe it or not, this is your battle for the top 5. You know, Keeney, I've heard of him down on the roads, and I've heard in the pits as of late. He says he's talking a little trash out there. Oh! Well, as I talked about that, apparently he forgot also you got to back it up once in a while. He goes right out of turn 2, smacks the wall protection, and actually Stanley Pottle followed him in suit. I wasn't sure if he's trying to mimic him or not, but somehow manages to keep it up on all 4 wheels. That was a big lick and a half there for both drivers. Transformers 48 apparently not only just transformed, but he rolled out. And now he's trying to get back up to the packs up front here. About 4 seconds back, it's Destin Sonicker as Jeffrey Todd Tuss takes over for the 3rd slot. Todd Tuss there in the Timberley beverage room machine, trying to move his way across to the field. You can just see the distance though between him and Destin Sonicker. Got a pretty good length and a half there as our drone cam goes down on him. Take a look at how he's doing up there. You can tell he's just doing his own thing, kind of working his way around the place. Hoffer now having to work his way around. Kevin Baker. Baker's going to go a lap down, do that little spin out there and force him to hit Nettleman, as looks like Hoffer overdrives it slightly in the corner. Big trouble there for the 84. That'll slow him down tremendously here. Over on the Puddles Racing Circuit here, the Sim Page, right now she's streaming on. We're taking a look on the onboard camera just to give you guys an idea why is she so fast right now. I think there's really 2 major parts that make her so fast here. Number 1, she's not overdriving the car. Listen carefully how she had the throttle rhythm nice and stable, and see how much she's turning in, how more controlled she is. She's not really letting off too quickly. She's getting very smooth through the corners, and that's really the big thing that's allowing her to be so fast, because she knows where the corners are and where the turns are and how to manipulate them. So really it just boils down to just making sure the car is set straight and set in a perfect line for a motion. And that's why right now the 5 is dominating this one. As I mentioned before here, Iowa Speedway with the progressive turns, these turns area are extremely hard to master and fun to watch. It's a reason why they call it the short track of Iowa. I would say it's definitely the fastest short track in the world, but I would also say I wouldn't call it necessarily my premier track in the world. Hear me out. I will say I love Iowa Speedway, even though I've never been to it and watched the race. Trust me, I've been planning to. NASCAR, seriously, get down here already. I want to see these. Or SRX, could you please bring your cars over here too? I think that'd be a good show, wouldn't it, folks? Anyway, Iowa Speedway, like I said, this track, we've seen it before where, you know, there are multiple grooves and multiple lines. You can see most drivers try to aim more towards the top than back to the bottom. However, with these custom setups, you can set them up to where you can really run that top side really well and build up a lot more speed. The only downside is a lot of drivers opt to not do that. They tend to more try to stray more toward the bottom and try to build their speeds up there. Kind of a catch the leader moment. Not really working out too well though here, because again, about a 1.5 second lead for one over the other, and then sometimes even 20 seconds or more. Jerry Keeney currently way back to the pack here. And I gotta be honest with you though, folks. Right now, Stanley Pottle, I gotta give him credit where credit's due. The guy is literally in the top 5, and I think this is his first top 5 spot he's ever been in. They will have a halfway caution, so that could slow him down slightly or derail his momentum. But you know, right now, I gotta be honest, he is being very conservative, very under control. You can see on the onboard camera, he's not turning in nearly as bad as he started when he was on us with here. But you can just see how hard he grips that wheel in. He's trying to really watch his spots, really watch his shot. But the main thing is he's staying off that wall and he's keeping the car at play. That's the biggest thing. You want to keep that Super Late model in play and not override or overdrive it. You want to keep it under control. That's exactly what they're doing right now. Speaking of keeping it under drive and a little bit overridden, I want to take a look at something here. Here's a little thing for you. Right now, Matthew Hoffert, yeah, he's catching up quickly here to Chantel. Looks like the run's starting to fade off here for Chantel, just a slight bit. You can see about 100 of a second gap, kind of closing in a bit as she has to go out of here with Joker Joe Nudelman. Nudelman trying to avoid contact with the 5 and stay out of the way here. Will do so successfully as Matthew Hoffert now tries to make the charge to the 5. An undefeated streak on the line here tonight. And remember, we've never had in Pedal to the Metal Racing League any driver come out here and dominate an entire series for an entire selection of races. Not even in the Dirt Series. The closest we ever came was Steven Lingenfelter there in the Dirt Series back season 4. He won 5 out of the 6, only losing out at Lanier. And I believe that night it would go to Derek Pope that making a triumphant return in the next season would win that one. Or excuse me, he won in season 4. Excuse me, season 3 is where Lingenfelter completely dominated and just took out the competition there. Joker Joe Nudelman also a part of the Dirt Series when he was racing there, and right now trying to get the Asphalt Series dialed in a bit more. A little bit of troubles here and there for the 4. To me, it looks like he's almost just like too tight going in those corners. It seems like he's coming off those exits extremely hard. I know he's trying to build up more speed, but you can just see the way the car is reacting. It's getting loose and it gets tight. It's an over-under situation, and that's not what you want to have happen around here. You don't want that to pop up in between. You don't want that to come around. You want to keep the car nice and stable, nice and under control, and really just focus on the rest there. By the way, that little gap that I said earlier about Hoffer and Paddle, yeah, that kind of got rearranged. I don't know if Paddle's got a race. I don't know if Paddle's got literally the voice right now on us in the broadcast booth, but she just hooked it up a notch here. Now back at 151 miles per hour, almost 153 on her fastest lap there. Fastest tonight so far, Joker Joe Nudelman, 155 miles per hour. And again, that really, laps can be one thing, but you need speed to go along with it. There's no bonus points here in this race. It's either you win or you lose, and you just get the points off of that way. Deborah Shriver running on in tonight saying, Puddles, get it done. She is rooting for their home girl tonight. Robert Hessong still not able to make the call here tonight, unfortunately. Trouble down there for him on his end. He will not be able to get back out there. Well, you want to talk about a bit of a difference here. You see how much Jerry Keeney is literally having to turn that wheel in. That's one big reason why he is so slow in the corners right now and struggling, is because of how hard he is turning in and turning off. Again, to keep the car more straight and keep more speed related situation, that's what builds up your speeds and builds up your momentum. And Stanley Pottle, he's already going down. Looks like he's going to go into pit road. He knows he's a top 5 right now. What is he doing? I'm not sure. Maybe he just overdrives the tires or burns up on that thing, but that is not what I would have expected out of the 48 here tonight. We'll see if he can transform back to life into the next slide for the stage here. Speaking of which, coming up on that stage, lap 35, fastly approaching here. That will be the halfway point. And the 5 of Chantel, the Green Tech Energies, Matt Mills Racing, Fox Racing Machine is still ahead of the field and ahead of the group. Matthew Hoffer, though, is a true challenger. He is right there with her. Not going to give an inch here. And again, they will have to fight it out as well on the restart here, so there's no way of telling who will be able to get the better stance on that. But looking at our points here tonight, Chantel Potter with 100 and currently Matthew Hoffer only down by 8. Dustin Sonaker, a surprise hit here. He's up 80. He's at 85. Joker Joe Nudelman, a strong start with him, 80 in as well. Stanley Potter with 74. Jeffrey Todd Tess with 66. Robert Kahn 63. Jerry Keeney with 54 Nick Kern and 47, and then Robert Hissong with 18. That leads in your points race as we throw it to a caution. Stage break initiated. And like we just keep saying over and over here tonight, folks, the dominance and the pure speed that comes with this track showing from everyone around here. Absolutely impressive, and absolutely, to say the least, just how well just these guys and gals have been able to hold up and keep their momentum alive. For those at home that are tuning on in right now with us, first off, thank you so much for tuning on in. We definitely appreciate you guys. If you do like what you see, well then please be sure to subscribe here on Facebook and YouTube, as well as take a look at our social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, if you would. So pit strategy is now going to be put into effect. Joker Joe Nuttleman is going to stay out and get his lap back in this case. Might not be a bad idea considering everything he's gone through here tonight. Bit of a rough, he had a good start, but a rough finish on that one. I don't know how well he'll handle the nerves there on that one. Also in the chat, folks, as I mentioned plenty of times on the show before, if you want to get the best out of these broadcasts and these streams and make things even better, there's only one way to do it. You help support us on our show here by heading over to our PTM Racing TV store. Check out our merchandise line. And while you're at it, you buy one of those PTM Racing TV shirts, let us know. Send a picture down in our messages chat, and we'll try to see if we can get a little compilation going for you guys. So Stanley Bottle quite a few laps down now. He's going to be literally back about 3 laps on the go. That will hurt his chances just a slight bit here. Being 3 laps down, he's going to have some work to do. I think you guys probably know a different number to that Good Wrench Services machine. Obviously, the late, great Dale Earnhardt's number 3 is designed Silver Bullet, as I call it. Not sure what he actually named it. But right now, Matthew Hoffert, in that first stage, I must admit, was definitely using it to full use and full advantage there. So I think it will definitely be his best endeavor to keep up the pace and keep up with the momentum, as long as he can keep it up there with the 5. The 66 of Dustin Solnaker currently holding up top 4, but he will look to try to get that 3rd spot from Todd Tufts here, as old Todd Tufts in the 72 machine pretty much been in a heated pack and a heated race situation ever since he came out on here. But you know, he does have a race win in the Super Late models. He did tell me about that earlier today. He said, man, I really love that one, but I want to get back in there and show I'm not a one-hit wonder and, you know, prove I can do something in these series. But it's just really hard to keep up with some of the talent and really keep up with the pace here. So hopefully I've got this thing dialed in a little bit more as we go along with the season. And that, I might add, will definitely be a little bit of a situational awareness, to be sure here. Tonight, folks, just a heads up for you wondering at home, just figuring out where these guys are going to go next time out. Well, next time out, it was supposed to be Texas, but because of our little situation where Texas can't seem to figure out what to do with the Super Late models, and they keep spinning out badly randomly, we're heading down to Martinsville Speedway from now on. That will replace the Texas tracks, so they will be the only ones of the bunch replaced. I believe Richmond will get replaced as well. I've been told they want to do something different because just like Texas, there's a little bit of a struggle down there, so we'll see what the call is there. But that's pretty much all we got for you here. Everything else stays the same. After Martinsville next week, it will be an off week, so be sure to catch that up on the show. So our field working their way around, doing their own thing, working their magic. We'll now try and dive back into this one, dive back into the race. As the field will work their way off around, you gotta wonder yourself, is Jeffrey Todd Tufts and Dustin Solnaker gonna put up a slight fight here? Jerry Keeney gonna look to try to do the same. Looks like we're still gonna stay under caution. Drivers need to get their lap back and get around this place. Field looking pretty intense here tonight. It looks like no one looking to give the objective the advantage to anyone. They want to only do what's right for them and build up all that speed and all that run. The pace starting to stricken out a little bit, and I think right now it looks like we're getting ready to go green after this next lap around. They really got to get this. They got to get that green flag back out here soon. Otherwise, this might be a long haul for some of them. Kevin Baker coming back. Stanley Powell and Jerry Keeney trying to come back as well. Keeney now makes it through the field. Stanley Powell as well, building up a lot of speed around here. I believe he will be back on the lead lap in this case now. Nope, he'll actually still be a lap down. So Baker, Keeney, and Pottle both will remain, it looks like, a lap down in this case. So they will have to they'll have to find a way to get around some drivers here and hopefully survive with the pack. As Justin Sonaker and Joker Joe Nuttleman going to the back of the field. I believe they're trying to get Stanley Powell to go back there with Nuttleman or with Keeney, whichever one. They're trying to figure out who's going where here. And we will remain under caution. The race officials are telling them, guys, you got to get in line already. We are not doing this all night. I can't blame them. Well, again, a reminder here tonight, folks. Tonight, for the first time ever, the Truck Series, yes, the Gander Outdoor Trucks, are going over to a track that many consider to be one of the worst of the truck races this season. But in my opinion, I was there live, and I had the blast and the full-on experience of a lifetime. It's Knoxville Raceway and Gander Outdoor Truck Series, Spartan Logistics Management LLC, IROC Series, take to the stage, take to the show. We've seen them on asphalt. How will they handle the dirt, and how will they handle the unique bankings in the corners of Knoxville? I can tell you one thing, it's not going to be a one-line track. You can run 2 lines up there, and that track, I gotta believe, will set the tone and set the stage for many of them. We will see who can be the better of the drivers and win it out there as we get ready to get back to the action finally. Sonaker and Nuttleman will be right behind the field here. They will have to work their way around Pottle and Keeney. I believe that was due to a pit road situation. So now they work them off. The 5 remains undefeated at Iowa right now. Will that continue here? Matthew Hoffert certainly has something to say about it. And Jeffrey Todd Tufts, he's bad fast when he wants to be. He can get it worked in perfectly here. Waiting for the call on the start to the green. You see the green pop up on your end here. It's time to go back racing here at Iowa. Off the whole shot, I will have to give the nod to Matthew Hoffert. The 84 had a better start off that one, and it's showing on the outside. But this is where the 5 is so dangerous. You got to watch out for it. Straight to the bottom, off the corner ends of the run here. They both are side by side. It's a heated battle between each other as Jeffrey Todd Tufts has to deal with Kevin Baker right behind him. Hoffert and Pottle going at it here. We've seen this before where these drivers will not give an inch, and you can just hear the roar of those motors being put on full display. Todd Tufts is literally right behind the leaders. One wrong move and it could be game over. New leader, Matthew Hoffert, our good wrench service 84, takes the race lead away. A whole lot of speed and built up coming around here. Working our way down them on in. They are still at each other's throats, still trying to keep each other a heck of a lot of run here. Todd Tufts looking to possibly get a slight advantage here in the corners and a slight runoff on him. Kevin Baker trying to get up back up from the front and get his lead back. Give credit where credit's due to this 87 machine. He's actually hanging in there pretty well with the leaders. Despite being a lap down, you know, he can't give up too much down there. I always hear that old story that why do lap cars battle out when the leaders are fighting? Well, again, if you're putting yourself in that mindset, you're a lap car, why would you not want to do that? You got to stay ahead. You got to stay in with the race lead. And you got to stay in the lead lap. Why would you not want to keep doing going at it? That's one thing I've always said here on the show is sometimes you just have to do what you got to do to win. That is definitely on full display here. Right now, Hoffert with a slight advantage, but again, we saw earlier with that timing there that really it could be anyone's race depending on who burns the tires in too quickly. Hoffert seems to have a good line there on the bottom line. Looks like he's got a pretty good charge off. Dustin Sonaker and Kevin Baker dealing with each other a little bit. Well, excuse me, that was not Kevin Baker. That was excuse me, that was Kevin Baker and Joker Joe Nettleman, I should say. Nettleman actually back into the 4th spot. And I think I mentioned earlier on just how difficult it is for Nettleman to figure out that long-term strategy. He's a good short run driver. I'll give him that any of the week. But again, what really matters is that long run where those tires and all that build-up come around. Remember, these guys are working on a 50% fuel with only 5 sets of extra tires to use. So they get 6 in total. They burn them up and use them up too much, then that costs them. I was told everybody did go into pit road fueled up and took a set, so they are down to only 4 to go. And the other tires they had earlier on, so whatever they burn in and burn off, that is what they will have to work with. Hoffert up on the outside line, trying to hold him off yet again. You can see Chantel building some momentum back up. This is starting to get a little bit wild and frenetic here. The time slots do not lie here. You can see Hoffert holding out for a good chunk here, but he's really starting to slow off maybe a little bit of that pace here. He's not going to give anything up to any of the drivers out here, but I'll tell you one thing. It's been a while since we have seen him in victory lane. Ever since Talladega, that was the last one he won, and that was back in the Xfinity Series under a bit of an iRacing circumstance situation. You're probably wondering home what I'm talking about. Unfortunately, iRacing kind of messed up on the live timing feed, and they ended up scoring Matthew Hoffert the race win when they came across the finish line on the time limit, because Hoffert had gotten ahead there of the field when they went green. Points were only settled in a certain way, and everyone had pretty much a fair shake of points that night. And ever since then, it's just been fight and go for everybody in the Xfinity Series. But the Super Late models, they've been pulling off a few banger hits and a few good runs in between. They know how to put on a show right now, that is for certain. Final 20 laps remaining on the clock here as we go here through the field. Todd Tuss still currently in 3rd. 4th, Joker Joe Nettleman, and then 5th right now, holding up the top 5, Dustin Sonaker. As you see, Kevin Baker giving a little bit of a run down there on with the 87 to the number 4 of Joker Joe Nettleman. Seems like he's opting for a little bit of a more controlled line around. We're trying to see if he can make some moves off of Nettleman here. Nettleman extremely conservative, holding his line down. Kevin Baker seemingly getting a good runoff on these corners, but just can't quite get around the speeds and the control that you will of Nettleman. To be honest though, I think this will be a good telling for some of these drivers, especially Sonaker and Baker here. I gotta think right now, if they can find a way around Nettleman these last couple laps, I think that will give them a little bit of a boost of confidence, knowing that they have that long run starting to figure it out a little bit. They're starting to get things better dialed in. Steve McDonald joining us on in tonight saying, go Chantel, and Leap Buster Boss saying, come on Chantel, surprise us all. I got my money on you. Go Chantel, go. Well, right now she's still fighting it out there with Hoffert, but it's only about 2 cents of a second here as Kevin Baker has a little charge, a little bit of a run here. Nettleman up on the bottom end of the spectrum. Here comes Baker. And again, Baker not on the lead lap. Reminder there, folks, Nettleman is. However, for the 87, this isn't just about trying to figure out position-wise. This is trying to figure out how well can he hold on to the race leads and battles there. And speaking of the race leads and battles, look at this. Here comes the 5. Long-term game going to be put into full effect. And an undefeated streak is on the line here. She knows what's at stake. Hoffert on the outside. Oh, he's not backing down. It's a drag race between the two. That time it was Hoffert by 200ths of a second. Time on that one, 19 hundredths of a second. 198 for that one, and that was very, very close. Hoffert trying to keep the outside line in play. I don't see him giving it up, but at the same time, you really got to find a way around that 5 here. I think the 5 may be backing off a slight bit here, maybe trying to let Hoffert get a little comfy down there. A la Via Dale or Waltrip, just kind of keeping your close distance and close proximity, waiting for the bonsai move. Hoffert certainly knows that too here as the Tour Chopper Cam, the beautiful track of Iowa Speedway being shown in full range as a packed stands here tonight. Watch 9 drivers go at it. 8 on the track here. Robert Hissong still not able to make the call here, unfortunately. We hope he's doing okay and hope he'll be able to return with us here soon enough. Jeffrey Todd's up, still working his way around third as Jerry Keating getting a little bit of traffic situation there, backs it off, gets out of the way. And Kevin Baker avoiding carnage there and causing trouble. But here comes a little mischievous one in Dustin Sonaker. Oh, big smack in the wall. Kevin Baker slides it out of turn 4. Kevin Baker has slid it off out of turn 4. He's trying to refire, getting it out of the crash. You're not supposed to up your own lawn care service down there, dude. They are going to pull it up quickly here. Watch out down there. Stay low, boys. Stay low. Stay low. You got leaders coming up. Here comes the 84 and the 5. He stays out of the way. They let him race. We're down to 11, and it's still a side-by-side battle for the race lead. These two know each other very well from the days of Heat 4 to Heat 5 to then joining the iRacing Series. Friends in their own right, battling it out, but bitter enemies on the track. No harm or foul, but you can definitely know no punches are thrown here or held back here. It's all about who is the better driver and who has the better one out of the bunch. It's incredible here to see just how quick, how close this one is truly being. Hoffert still in the fight. A bobble around turn 4, the same spot Baker got into, and the 5 takes advantage. You can see right there, you saw that rear end start to slide out from underneath him. He just overdrove it in the corner, and it just cost him dearly. Now he's got to try to find a way back around her. Very similar to what we saw back one season ago where I believe it was at Kansas Speedway. Kevin Harvick followed behind Joey Logano for most of that lap in those last minute racing. And in my opinion, even though I love Kevin Harvick, that was what cost him that night. He lost it just not getting into it with Logano and taking him on. He ran clean that night, but unfortunately just did not hold up, and the season came to an end, really, in my opinion, that night. It wasn't in Martinsville that did him in. It wasn't Talladega. It was that night. It's the same situation for Hoffert. Did that little bobble cost him not only the race lead, but the chance to be the one at 5-1? We shall see right now. Chantel is not holding anything back. She knows she is going to be closer than ever to being one of the only drivers to get 6 wins in the career stakes in the standings. Jeffrey Todd Tufts just kind of laying off on the back here. Kudos to him for a good battle and a good race here throughout this night. Joker Joe Nuttleman got a good run there from Dustin Sonaker. You can see the field right there packed around as we initiate into the final 5 laps. The lap time starting to show a little bit of a dip and a gap. Looks like Hoffert was backing off a little bit. Now he's just trying to refire and get it fired in again. But that time around, he did not gain anything. He actually lost some. Things getting intense. Things getting a little bit crazy out here. The hecticness just never ends here on PTM Race TV. That's why you gotta literally tune in when we go live. Final 4 laps here. The 84, Hoffert trying to do a little a la Intimidator style and make his way up to the front. He certainly has the opportunity and the chance here, but will he get it? I think that move that the 5 threw on him earlier by just pulling up right near his rear end cost him dearly. That cost him even more. Right out of turn 4, we got 2 drivers spinning him out. Matthew Hoffert drives straight into the wall. Stanley Bottle overdrives the chute. 6 seconds ahead from Todd Tufts. The Canadians are going to take this one over with only 2 to go. Todd Tufts just probably thought he got himself a gift from the Lord of Speed. And as we turn our books to Excel Chronicles versus 17, in my time of need, I only trust with the power of speed to come down to Iowa, share a few bushes, and see my needs come to thee. The 5 of Chantal Bottle will now roll him off out of turn 4 to the white flag this time by. Todd Tufts trying desperately, and I mean desperately, just trying to get one last run in or something, but it's just all but too late. There's nothing he can do. Joker Joe Nuttleman pulling off a good run here. Dustin Slonaker under the strong showing in a top 5 position possibly for him. The heartbreaker of the night, Matthew Hoffert, not quite done there with old Todd Tufts. But I think it's too little too late for any of these guys because coming out of turn 4, the 5 of Chantal Bottle remains undefeated in the super late model. She is now 6-0 in the season. What a night it has been. Todd Tufts coming away second place, third to Matthew Hoffer, and then fourth to Nuttleman, and fifth to Slonaker. Wow, oh my goodness. Lisa, man, sitting on the edge of my seat. Who is it gonna be? It was a showstopper. But an undefeated streak continues. And I believe right now, other than the wars that Lucas Gortman put up on the show and the Legend Series, I think now Chantal Bottle has literally the second most wins back to back to back to back to back in a season so far. 6-0 for the number 5, and I don't think she's gonna mind blowing a few motors down there, breaking a few hearts and breaking a few things in between. And Stanley Bottle apparently didn't appreciate the donuts there. He was like, wait a minute, I can do better donuts than that, bud. The Bottle clan having a little fun down there and destroying all their equipment. Why not? Alright, race fans, let's go ahead and take a look at our race results here now, popping up on your screen, presented by PT Racing TV. Here's how we end the night. The undefeated streak lives on, at least for another week. Chantal Bottle wins it. Second goes to Jeffrey Todd Tufts. Third to Matthew Hoffert. Fourth to Joker Joe Nuttleman. Fifth to Dustin Slonaker. Sixth to Kevin Baker. Seventh to Stanley Bottle. And eighth to Jerry Keeney with Robert Hissong, unfortunately not making the call. Let's take it down here and talk with our 3 drivers here tonight that came away with this one. Matthew Hoffert. Well, I gotta believe right now he is ecstatic. He's excited here. But we're gonna first talk with Jeffrey Todd Tufts. He joins me in now on the show here. We're down here at pit road. He is joining me real quick. Todd Tufts now joins us in. Jeffrey, congratulations on a second place finish here tonight. It looked like literally Hoffert just kind of overdrove it and gave you a big opening there, and you took full advantage of it. Todd, you got a copy, sir? Quick, somebody pull his strings. I think his mic might be muted, or we might have broke it down there. Oh, yeah, something there. Todd, you got us, bud? Hold on, race fans. Let me see if we can get this fixed up here. I think we may be able to get it now. Nope, still nothing on our end. Todd, we'll save it for the end as soon as you get that mic fixed up, bud. Alright, so we'll go ahead and let him figure that out. So now actually will be our third place finish here tonight. That'll be Matthew Hoffert. Hoffert walking away with the third place finish here. Hoffert, congratulations on the third yet again here. Coming away from the second place you had last time, but I gotta believe this one was a little bittersweet coming out of turn 4 on those last couple laps.
Oh, iRacing needs to make these cars a little bit easier to drive.
But where's the fun in making them easier to drive, though? I mean, then at that point, might as well just drive the Cup Series.
Yeah, at least you can go, put the pedal to the floor and the back end of the car doesn't want to come around.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless here, I gotta ask you, man, you was doing everything you could and then some to try to survive this night and try to fight a way out here. Talk me through just really those last couple laps and just what happened exactly.
Well, I had the lead, and then I seen Chantel going on the inside there, and I kind of missed my mark and gave her an opening, and kind of had a good 2 3 lap battle there. I was up on the top, she was on the inside, and I just missed my marks on a couple turns and paid the price.
Yeah, indeed, indeed, it was a price unfortunately paid here tonight. But I mean, still there is one big hope coming up for you here. You are coming up to Martinsville next week, and I gotta believe that might be the track that might be able to take down the streak here. What do you think?
It would be nice to end 2 streaks, my losing streak and then or winning streak. But Martinsville is one of my favorites, and I'm hoping for good things next week.
For sure, there. Well, Hopper, appreciate you taking time to talk with us here, man. Congratulations on third place finish here tonight.
Thank you.
Matthew Hopper coming away third here tonight. Coming away second place here tonight. Todd Tufts here in the number 72 machine. Now, Todd, do you got a copy down there, sir? I don't know what's going on with that mic down there, but apparently it's still broken. Is here. We had him there for a second, and it just wasn't working all of a sudden. We had it for a minute, though.
Am I in it now?
Yep, you're in it now. I can hear you. Can you hear us all right, bud? Well, we heard him. We're trying to get him to talk here.
Hello?
Yep, Todd, you got us? I wonder if he's listening to the stream end of ours. All right, Todd, we got you, bud. We'll just real quick, if you can here, just kind of explain on the show how you felt about this one and what it felt like to get second place here tonight at Iowa Speedway.
It was pretty good. I got lucky in the end there. Chantel and Hoffy there were battling, and he spun out, so I ended up getting second instead of third. So that was all right. But
Wasn't
other than that, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I'll keep going. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's all right.
So-
Now them guys were the class of the field, really.
It certainly was indeed. I mean, you was pulling off some great runs and some serious battles in between here. I gotta ask you, as you're coming away here second and moving on to Martinsville next week, what's gonna be the strategy there, you think?
Just keep going in circles and see what I can do. That's all you can do, really.
Absolutely. Well, nevertheless, Todd, appreciate your time here. Congratulations on a second place finish, and we'll see you next time out here, bud.
Thanks a lot.
Jeffrey Todd Tufts walking away second in the 72 here tonight, race fans. And in victory lane for the sixth time in a row, the undefeated one, Chantel Bottle, joins us now in. And Chantel, I still don't understand how the heck you can find so much speed here at Iowa, but I mean, nevertheless, you continue to wow and impress, and once more you have taken away another victory from the drivers here.
Yeah, it came close there with me, Matthew. I made some adjustments, and my car started getting really tight at the end of it. So, only for him hitting the wall, it would have been a good battle for the last few laps.
It certainly would have indeed. You know, we saw literally him just going crushingly into turn 4 and the car just getting completely sideways, and even Stanley falling right behind there. Actually, it was almost kind of a pirouette spin there from both of them, both recovering though to get back on the track for at least a third or wherever Stanley had finished. But you know, for you though, I think this is the first time you've ever had 6 in a row. What does this mean and feel to you in this case, now knowing that the season is just about halfway through and you've got pretty much all the wins so far?
It'd just be nice to bring it over to Sunday's League. And
Yes, it would definitely be a little nice to see if I get a win there, but I mean, you definitely have everything kind of dialed in here in the Super Late. So I gotta ask you, as you're walking away with this finish here tonight, who do you want to thank for that?
everyone at PTM and PTM Racing TV.
We definitely appreciate tuning on in, Miss Chantel. Congratulations once again, and we'll see you next time out at Martinsville.
Yep, thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner here tonight, and undefeated still, Chantel Bottle in the number 5. All right, race fans, that's going to wrap it up here for, I say now, the first part of our Iowa trip. We've got one more coming your way. Next up, Knoxville Raceway. I'm about an hour away, so I gotta get into that chopper. I gotta book out of here. But Knoxville Raceway's coming up. It's Truck Series action here on the dirt. Be safe. God bless. Take care. I'll see you here in just a little bit, race fans.